friends, I'm Scott Hanselman and it's Azure Friday. Imagine telling Copilot, deploy this repo to Azure, validate it, and if it fails, you can diagnose it from the logs, and it does it. Just add the Azure Skills plugin in the GitHub Copilot CLI, and Copilot gets all the Azure playbooks. I'm going to see how it works today on Azure Friday. Hey friends, I'm Scott and it's Azure Friday. I'm here with Sandeep Sen, who's going to show me how I can take the Azure MCP server and make my GitHub Copilot experience even better. How are you, sir?
I'm good. How are you, Scott?
I'm very well. I've got a Copilot on this monitor and another one on that monitor, but I'm not using the Azure MCP server. And I know that you're going to show me why I need to get it installed right away.
Yep. So Azure MCP server is the MCP server for Azure. It contains all MCP tools related to Azure in a
Hmm.
single binary, if you may say. And right now, we also have added Azure Skills to it. So these are basically skills which you can use with your GitHub Copilot CLI or even Claude Code to make your dev experience even better.
Okay, so
So
this is like it makes it an expert. If I'm using GitHub CLI or I'm using Claude Code or
yeah,
whatever,
yeah,
the
yeah,
skills plus the MCP server make it Azure smart.
correct. It makes you Azure smart. Now, like most of the people we work with, they know what a MCP server is, uh, but they have difficulties in how to install it, where to install it, or how can I get it.
Mm,
So here I am to tell you about how should you get it.
let's do
So
it.
why don't I share my screen and start with how to get Azure MCP, and then we'll move on to get how to get Azure Skills and make an awesome experience.
Perfect. Let's do it.
Yeah. So these are the few links. So akms/azmcp that takes you to the repo /docs takes you to docs, and then you can even self-host in your own environment as a remote server, and then dash Azure Skills dash Azure Docs takes you to those docs. So
Okay.
let's start with Azure MCP, right? So let me go and just fire this guy on Edge, and then so this is our Azure MCP server. And if you
Mhm.
go one level above to Microsoft/MCP, you'll find a list of all the MCP servers from Microsoft. Like Azure is not only product from Microsoft, you'll get other things. So if you go to MCP, Microsoft/MCP,
Mhm.
list of all MCP servers are here, and you can
Okay.
play around with it.
Very cool.
Let's focus on Azure MCP right now. 1.0 is generally available. We are going through a security review. Hopefully, by the time this video goes out, we are at 2.0.
Sounds
So
good.
maybe in a day or two. So now I want to focus on how and where I can install it. So standard way, you can use npm to install it. It's a np execute command. So npx, whatever you want, you can do it.
Mhm.
But generally, you'll be using a editor. So we are not only available on VS Code, we are available on Visual Studio, IntelliJ, Eclipse, and even more. Let's go to the docs and I'll show you how to actually install. So
Okay.
I do this azmcp/docs, and this is my landing page. So Visual Studio Code, we have two plugins. One is called Azure MCP, another is called GitHub Copilot for Azure.
Mhm.
Either or you install all, you get all the tools and
Okay.
skills with it. So you don't have to separately install skills or separately install another server. And I'll show you how it looks like once installed.
Okay.
Visual Studio, same deal. You can either install the 2026 version or the 2022 version. Both of them are plugins, and it's real simple. You get the plugin and you can install it. We even created a plugin for Eclipse, and you can find it in their marketplace. uh, Cursor and any other vs any other IDE which is essentially fork from VS Code, you can actually go into their tools and integration and just paste this JSON.
Hmm.
Once you paste this JSON, it will start.
Gotcha.
Same goes for Windsurf, same goes for client. IntelliJ, IntelliJ, we have a plugin already called Azure Toolkit. If you install Azure Toolkit and it sees you have GitHub Copilot installed, we'll automatically install Azure MCP and Azure Skills. So Azure
Okay.
MCP is a server, Skills are just some guardrails.
So easy to install, authenticates against Azure. What's the
Correct.
experience once I've got it available?
Yeah, let's just look at the IDE experience first, and then we'll look into other things which are the CLI tools. So here I am on my VS Code. I come here and I search for Azure MCP.
Hmm.
I click here. I am on a release version. I click install. It's there. Now, once it's installed, how do I know it's installed? If you go to your GitHub Copilot and click this button is configured tools. And here you'll
Mm,
see all the um, MCP tools which are installed. Like I have a Bicep also, I have a Microsoft Docs MCP also. And then I can just expand this and see how many tools I have. So what we have done in Azure MCP is we have namespaced a group of tools based on services, because we felt like people are already used to seeing services, so they can like list all my container accounts or all my let's say storage blobs. So they are still our customers are still focused on services rather than broader capabilities around multiple services. So we felt like grouping it into services is the best deal.
yeah.
And we did that so that like I can like disable all the Azure MCP tools. Like you see only 54 are selected. And let's say I only work with storage account. So I can just enable the storage tool. Or
Gotcha.
maybe I just work on compute or SQL. I can just enable these tools.
This is
So
really good that you bring this up because I think that folks that are watching who use MCP servers understand that they do take up a lot of context space, and
correct.
people don't want to install MCP servers because they think they're going to pollute their context space. And when I
Correct.
saw this, my first impression was, but Sandeep, I already use the AZD and AZCLI. Why would I want these? But if I
Mhm.
can just say, give me app service, give me storage, give me AZD, and then I'm done, the
Yeah.
way that you've scoped these by kind of by namespace, but a familiar namespace that I'm already familiar with, that means I get the benefits of an MCP server, all the free authentication, without having to pollute my context window, which is really nice.
Yeah. And you can not only do it here, but you can actually, like, let's say this is manual step, you're clicking on, clicking off, you don't like it. You will not only do it here, but in your MCP config JSON, which I was showing here,
Hmm.
this JSON, you'll find it everywhere. It's called MCP config JSON or MCP JSON. You can actually in arguments give the namespaces of the tools you want. So whenever it starts, it automatically starts with only those tools. And of course, if you don't give anything on this after start, then it will by default select all the tools. So you can set that up while you were installing stuff.
Hmm. Okay, that's cool.
So let's get back to here. Let's say I'm here and you were asking me a question like, hey, I already have a CLI and AZD. Why do I need this? So, on a very, very basic level, it will let you talk to uh, talk to your Azure subscription, if I may say, and let you do stuff. So let's say let me go back here and let me go to this guy, or maybe yeah, I think this is a good. Let's say so. This is my resource group, right? Let's say I want to see uh, all the storage accounts in this contain in this resource group. I have a lot of subscriptions, so that's why I'm copying this. But if you have just one or two subscriptions, then you don't even need to do this. Uh,
Yeah, I have found with the AZ CLI, the little dance you have to do between, am I logged into the right tenant? Am I logged into the right sub? Am I logged into the right
yeah,
this and that? The scoping can be challenging.
yeah, yeah. But like, again, I can skip the subscription, but that just means this tool is going through everything and looking at all the subscription,
Right.
trying to find this, and that's also costing you token, right? And before doing anything, um, this will ask you for permission. Like, I'm going to allow this for every session, but you can just say, hey, allow it only once, or allow it in this workspace. So that means if I open another window of VS Code, it will not be allowed. And to be honest with you, VS Code does this for most or almost all MCP servers. So we are not just the one. I'm going to allow it once because uh, allow in this session so that I don't waste time in saying yes, yes.
Yeah, I tend to go YOLO mode. I allow all. I'm just very confident that it's going to be okay. But of course, it'll be okay until it's not.
Yeah, and it's saying like it's getting storage account get tool. So this is the tool, and I'll while this is running, I'll show you what this tool actually does from our docs. So we were in Azure MCP docs, and here, if you scroll down to the tools section, let me make this a bit bigger. If you scroll down to tools and go to, we were looking at storage, right? Azure. uh,
Fifth one from the bottom.
oh, yeah. Yeah. So in here, we were looking at get details. So it was actually running this. Uh, this tool. Where did it get details? It was running this tool, it passed these parameters, and we know this is not a destructive tool.
Hmm.
And what does a destructive tool means? Destructive tool means something which is going to change your environment on Azure.
Mm.
Create, delete, update, these are destructive. So destructive doesn't only mean that it'll cost you money, it also means it's fundamentally going to change something.
Does this change how the CLI, like the CLI knows those hints, the CLI
Correct.
sees those things, it changes its perspective and whether or not it's afraid to use a tool or not?
Yes. And on a destructive mode tool, it'll ask you. But as you said, you go YOLO mode, then it'll just give you a warning and execute
Right.
it.
Interesting.
But
That this is really helpful though. But these hints matter, and it's
yes,
helpful that you provide them.
yes. And if you can take away anything from this session is we have very extensive documentations of these hints. So please look at these hints before you uh, execute something destructive. So VS Code was pinging me and it gave me all the things it was there, but I'm not going to look at it. Uh, but you can take a look at it and look at all the storage accounts in this resource group. Now I can drill down and say, hey, what's in this specific storage account, and it'll keep looking into it. And
So the
also,
Azure, the MCP server could be used for diagnostics by prod
yes,
people. It could be used by developers on a local loop. It can be used for like anything at all when you're ordinarily calling the CLIs and doing things manually. So if my site's down, I can ask the MCP server and it'll help me figure it out. But if I'm just getting into the developer inner loop and putting things out into staging, it can help me do that as well.
yes, and especially uh, I want all the users and listeners of the show to play around with log analytics with
Mhm.
MCP server.
Okay.
There you can query in natural language on your log analytics, and that is extremely helpful. You can
Okay.
do that with Kusto as well. You don't have to write any Kusto queries if you are not happy with your KQL. So, yeah,
Okay.
all
And
these
then
can be done just here.
my last question is then, what is the kind of special herbs and spices that the Azure Skills adds on top? Because that's something important to note. MCP servers don't just make your LLM smart.
Yes, that's a great question and a good segue to Azure Skills. So let me just go to Azure Skills repo, and I want to actually first show you what Azure Skills are. I want everybody to know that it's not something magical. So, let me go back. So, this is our repo, Microsoft SWAC Azure Skills, and you can go through Arca link or this one. Then, if you click on, and I'll go back to the .github and Cloud plugin folder later. But if you
Hmm.
go back to skills, if you go inside, again, we have used the same kind of strategy to like namespace these. And if you get in this, skill is nothing but a markdown file. It's
Mm.
essentially an instruction markdown. And this top portion, if you look at the code, right, it's just front matter of a markdown to version it. Other than that, it's just table and best practices like, hey, when Azure MCP is enabled, call this guy first rather than something else. So you would have seen that I asked for storage account and uh, it fired this command. So this is how you get it. And let's look in the
So
preview
the
mode because
skills are a kind of documentation, but it is as dense as possible as to give
yeah,
the MCP server, because you don't, again, you don't want to be polluting your, not
correct.
polluting, maybe not word, but you don't want to be filling up your context window.
Yeah, it's skill is basically a mishmash of small samples and machine readable instructions, machine readable docs. Like it says, hey, standard, like if somebody is creating a storage account, right? They want to know what is difference between standard or premium. It can just read these two and
Right.
then give it answers. So it doesn't have to make a network call. So a lot of things are done here rather than going through there. And if you look at quick references, right, this is just a markdown file referring to our doc. So let's say you were doing something with your blob storage on Rust, right? We all know Rust is quite popular now.
Hmm.
It will just go back and go to the folder, which is next to it, by the way, and read like, hey, this is our coding things, how to do the code pattern. So all this can be done without actually making a network call.
Mm. Very
And
cool.
one of the best part of skills is skills do not load automatically, just as MCP tools.
Hmm.
As I was showing the front matter, when your uh, agent starts, let's say Cloud Code or GitHub Copilot starts, it will load name and description of your
Hmm.
uh, skill. It will not load everything in the context. Only and only when it feels like, hey, LLM decides like this query you made
Hmm.
is somewhat related to storage, only then it will load the bottom part of the skill. So that way you are basically saving a lot of your tokens.
All right. So this is GA. It's 1.0. You said
Correct.
creeping up on a new version. It's being actively developed, and it is available basically everywhere that you get your packages. So whether it's NuGet or NPX, or just putting a JSON file in a folder, works everywhere. Works on Claude. Works in every IDE. It is an MCP server for the ages, and as you said before, it's available up on the Microsoft/MCP
Yeah.
registry, so folks can even self-host it if they choose to and have it be
Yes.
remote. All right. Well, thank you so much, Sandeep Sen, for sharing this with me today. I'm learning all about how the Azure MCP server makes my Azure experience even better with coding agents. You can get it everywhere that you get MCP servers. We'll see you
Yep.
again next week on Azure Friday.